Have you tried Finale of Promise build of Phoenix? I've not, but I feel like you'd have to be crazy to play Finale or Phoenix in general in a format full of Narsets and little Tefrees. Seems kind of absurd. Alright, so I like the look of this build a little bit better than the 4-color build, just because this deck has things going on other than Command the Dreadhorde. Like, we've got Nissa, we've got Hostage Taker. Like, this is basically just a full-on, like, Sultai mid-range deck from last season that's just kind of playing this as a go over the top card, which seems neat. I do wonder if playing less than 4 of this is silly, though. Like, this card is really messed up good, especially when it comes to, like, looping the Dreadhordes with it. It's possible that Krasis is better to have a full X at the top end. We'll see. We've talked a lot about Narset being a card that's kind of omnipresent in this format. So, like, this is a card whose stock has gone down a bit in the face of Narset, is something to consider. So I think if you want to, you want a 4th Tamiyo? All right, I'm gonna fit that in. Yeah, that's the swap. 4th Tamiyo over 4th Krasis. I like that. Let's get my Simic sleeves on. Let's do it. Hey, Mills, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. See how this feels. This hand just doesn't do anything, right? This hand's much better. Green source, please. Nope. You could reversal their Command the Dreadhorde. That's true. That's true. Unfortunately, reversal's probably not great in the mirror. Shuriba Kudi. Basic Mountains. Ay, ay, ay. Immediately sad about bottoming that. Alright, scale of 1 to dead. Where's this Wildgrowth Walker at? What are we thinking about it? Oh, green source! Green source! Green source! Whole game right here. The entirety of the match. This is Drossip. Alright, alright, alright. We get a do-over. We get a do-over. As far as like non-green source draws go, that was definitely towards the top. I am not blocking next turn, so I'm gonna attack with this. How many lands are in this deck, to ask the real questions? Reversal is specifically for the mirror, especially when you're on the draw. Okay. 24 lands. That's probably not enough lands. I guess there's 4 Paradise Druids. Alright. Wildgrowth Walker sitting here sweating bullets. No, you were supposed to dodge bullets. Little Walker, you were the chosen one. The chosen one. Well, so, like, the thing with the Explore package is, like, Jadelight Ranger stock goes up the more lands you're playing, right? All right, I think we're heading into the range of ahead. He says this is opponent cast Experimental Frenzy. Dang it, Bobby. Dang it. I saw Wooey. In fact, we probably get to play like 3 or 4 of that new card. Alright, on the off chance their frenzy continues to be bad, we could be okay here. Got him. Jadelight is dead. I think that's fine. I just go ahead and plus my Tamiyo and guaranteed draw the cast down.
I know.
Unfortunate that our Golgari Queen is a converted mana cost short of being able to kill the Frenzy. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, dude. You definitely don't have the... It feels a lot like Bolas' Citadel, right? In fact, I wonder... Man, I really wish I wasn't worried about the clock. I bet the Citadel deck's in a really decent position overall. I can just, like, never come back from this card at this point, right?
Subject is easily
Frenzy. Frenzy's real good when you can't exile it. Nimble Mongoose is not a playable Magic the Gathering card. Why you have to be so mean, Bob? Why must you crush our dreams and break our hearts? Why must you crush our sweet, sweet little tempo dreams? What did our tempo dreams ever do to you? Mongoose and Infect actually sounds really sweet. Infect gets a Horizon Canopy now too. There's a blue-green Horizon Canopy for Infect. It's like a Bogle you can't equip. Oh, you can't pump Nimble Mongoose because it's balanced. Actually fair and balanced. Can't pump it. Completely unplayable. I kind of followed brutal truth around here. Stop being so mean. I think I just have to run this out. And I'm playing this next turn regardless to try and find lands for these. This new set for Modern is basically going to be exactly like when they unbanned Jason Bloodbraid Elf. Everybody's going to try a bunch of new things, quickly realize they're not actually playable, and then go back to playing all the other decks that they usually play. The new canopies aren't going to generate new decks per se. They're just going to slot into a bunch of decks that already exist. It's not going to fundamentally change anything about the format. There aren't a bunch of decks that go from unplayable to suddenly very good because of those cards. They just slot into a bunch of decks that are just like already good.
My friend is here to help your pain.
All the red aggro decks get a little bit better. I agree. Not enough to meaningfully change the format, though.
Witness the ties that bind us all. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
No, I didn't want to untap Tomb because I don't want to hold up Trophy. I intentionally did not untap Tomb because I don't want my double land to die. I want the most mana possible next turn, chat. So, when this dies inside of combat here, I then still have 3 lands that each make 2 mana for my Krasis next turn.
The only thing to fear is... my assistants are painfully sloppy.
You try my patience.
Tibalt is a touch annoying. I think it's worth burning a trophy on him, though, right? I want to gain my life.
Harness the elements.
6, 7, so I do this for 5. Burns already, and again, this is just why it's just a shit show talking about tiers with Magic players. There's no good Magic data. Objective Magic data doesn't exist. All tiers of everything are made up BS that we don't have any actual facts to back it up. It's all just people talking about their feelings and beating on their chests. So sure, some deck that you feel is tier 2 previously is now tier 1.5, but what does that actually mean? Absolutely nothing. It's all just made up nonsense.
Every story is an opportunity.
It's metrics that we literally will never have objective data to measure unless something fundamentally changes with how Magic data is shared. Speed, thanks for the 28-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Burn will get better because it gets to play those things a little bit, and other people are going to be killing themselves with their own Horizon Canopy-like lands. But how much does it get better measurably? Just, you can't. It just doesn't exist. Making strong, there are third-party stat aggregators that are completely incomplete to the point where you can't make strong, meaningful conclusions about them. Your sample sizes are bad and you should feel bad. I get it. We have to, like, it would be really nice and it's super exciting to, like, want to say super meaningful things and, like, draw strong conclusions, but you just can't. It's all just, like, I thinks and I feels, and this is approximately this, and this is approximately that, and, like, people just want to, like, people want to feel smart by saying these big, concise things, when the reality is, it's all crap, and it's all just feelings, and none of it's statistically relevant. Yeah, hopefully at some point, like, if we could get data out of Magic Arena like we do Hearthstone with, like, those big deck tracking, like, that would be awesome to, like, have statistically meaningful sample sizes. At the end of the day, Magic's a game that you should play for fun, and whether or not some random idiot on the internet tells you your deck is tier 1, or tier 2, or tier 3, they're just making stuff up. So if you like playing your deck, play your deck, and if you don't like playing your deck, play something else. I think we're dead. Feeling pretty dead. Well, I mean, and that's definitely part of it too, Shadow. There's a lot of people who want to feel like, well, I only play the best decks, so they, like, want the data to tell them what the best deck is, and I'm sympathetic to wanting good data, but taking bad data and pretending it's good so people can be sympathetic is like, or so you can have what you're looking for, like, don't do that. Don't make stuff up to make yourself feel better. As an idiot on the internet, I feel personally attacked. Feeling dead might concede later. Accurate. If we rip, like, a Wildgrowth Walker here, maybe we have a shot. Lightning Strike, JK, dead. Alright, that's a cast down. I think I'm doing this into cast down here. That is not a way to kill Frenzy. What is there to meaningfully say about it? There isn't. We talk about that all the time on this stream. When people talk about a metagame from tournaments, what they're actually talking about is the winner's metagame. They're talking about what decks are doing well at the very top of the field. In Magic, we don't get big, complete, concise data. When they say a deck performed well, what they actually mean was it put up a bunch of top 8s. That doesn't actually tell you about the performance level of a deck. If 30 people in a 100-person tournament show up playing the same deck, that deck's probably gonna top 8 from sheer force of numbers, right? It doesn't have to be good to top 8. The most important thing you can know about the power level of a deck is when we're talking about what I would refer to as conversion rates. Conversion rates are important. So, like, for instance, if there's 10 copies of a deck in the room and 5 of them top 8, that deck overperformed. If there's 50 copies of a deck in the room and 5 of them top 8, that deck might not even be good. It's just a bunch of people showed up with it. And if you think that sounds messy and complicated, that's because it is. Chandra's cards are still playable. Chandra puts the cards into exile. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Conversion rates are ideal if you have sample sizes to back them up, which a lot of the times you don't. Do I want to draw a card here? Gaining a life is actually pretty good. And like trying to find a Jadelight Ranger is pretty good. Ooh, Bronte's decent too. Probably did here. Someone's asking how the aggressive matchup is with these decks. Probably not very good. If I had to venture a guess.
This is just gonna be bad for you.
Okay. We do have Wildgrowth Walker. You're not wrong. And like, if I Brontodon down this Frenzy, suddenly they have 5 cards in their hand that they can play. Tamiyo does get back Jadelight. I could just hope to not die. You're not wrong. I'm gonna sack this and draw a card and see if I find an Explore creature. Oh, magic. And Amtam variation of this deck sounds sweet. Tamiyo is very good. That is true. Tamiyo is super powerful. I think we're probably dead here. Yeah, they have a squeezed on the Chandra too. Listen, strange women lying in pods, distributing swords. There's no basis for a system of government. Supreme executive power derives from the mandate of the masses. Well, if we'd have hit a Jadelight there, we might have been okay. Thanks for the 12 months, Still the Water. I appreciate it. Have a sword to go with your shield. Chandra really showing the power as a split with Experimental Frenzy here. Yep. That did not feel particularly good. People are asking, how do you beat these Dreadhorde decks? Bunch of basic mountain seems like a good choice. Bunch of basic mountain seems like a good choice. Flight Forward, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yep. "20 basic mountains, that's so many. That's so many.
I am Tamiyo. It is an honor to meet you.
I'm gonna name Jadelight. Wouldn't mind drawing some lands.
Seek and find.
Is there any long-term impact to my subs or viewer count with the change? Not that I'm aware of. It's hard to measure too. Like, one of those things, and this is one of those things that makes data hard to work with, is like correlation does not equate to causation. So like, for example, right now, excluding like when we had a bunch of sub gifts to color the beard pink, like I'm at an all-time sub count high, but it's like hard to tell, like, is that sub count high directly related to being sub only for chat, or is it related to the fact that like we just had a new magic set release? Because like both of those things could be why.
We will not fail. The land shall conquer you.
Didn't want a Nissa untapped tomb to cast down. You mean the previous turn? No, I don't think so. Hey, Wooey, thanks for the sub gift. I appreciate it. I have Lightning Strike here. Lightning Strike's pretty good right now because it kills Alright, so that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll play 10-10 Krasis. It's a big boy, chat. It's a big boy. Yeah, we're hitting very different matchups with this deck compared to the 4-color one we just played, which is, again, why it's so important to, like, get larger sample sizes in when drawing conclusions with decks. Because these matchups feel very different than the ones that we played out with the other deck. Like, we didn't really hit anything aggressive, and we've hit a couple of aggressive decks in a row, and, like, Command the Dreadhorde seems a lot more mediocre when our opponent's actually, like, pressuring our health total, right? I wonder if it's crazy to, like, just double Nissa. I guess I have a cast down in here too. Let's do this and see how it goes. Yeah, Tamiyo cast down crackling seems good here too.
I would like to ask about any lunar anomalies you have experienced.
I feel like the quality of the stream has gone up since changing to sub only, even though it means I can't talk because I'm not a sub. I don't have any data to back it up, just feelings. Thanks, Doomquill. Well, I'm happier since being in sub only mode, so like sub only mode's not going anywhere. Even if sub only mode had adversely, even if I had strong data to conclude that sub only mode had adversely impacted my sub count and my viewer count, I'm happier being in sub only mode, which is probably the most important thing. There's less constant, I timed you out, please read the stream rules, I timed you out, please read the stream rules, I timed you out, please read the stream rules. Which gets tiresome. Flample's very good. Flamplers are not bad. Hey, Vriska, thanks for doling out the sub-gifty. Hey, Aaron the Freak, thank you for the 1.5 years of support, I really appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. I think Tamiyo would be better designed if it caused the cards you brought back to be exiled, like Flashback, maybe? Alright, I think I want my spot removal spells. Command the Dreadhorde probably comes out here. Vraska Queen's probably not good. They have Big Drake and Phoenix, which she both misses. I don't think Davriel's very good. Their deck kind of cycles through their stuff a whole lot. Do you know how long it's been since my youngest child was 4? Never. It's never happened to me before. Me, Stuart, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for shipping your Bezo Bucks this way this month. I think this is probably fine. It's like low end of keepable, but probably keepable. MB Value coming in hot with the brand new Prime. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday, folks. Something I have been trying to make a point to say is I am going to be dialing my schedule back a little bit now that we're getting into the groove of like standard getting settled a bit. Was doing a lot of 8, 10, even 12-hour days sometimes since the new set release, and I am going to be scaling back to closer to 7 to 8 hours a day. My plan is to be live from 8 a.m. till about 3 p.m. most days throughout the week. As always, you can follow my schedule on my website. Can we get more modern? That depends on the rate of submissions for the standard queue as well as the rate of submissions for the modern queue. So, as of recently, the modern queue hasn't really been getting that many submissions. And the standard queue's still been maintaining at an okay rate. So unless there's both an increase in modern submissions and a decrease in standard submissions, I probably don't see myself doing more modern. Dude Light, thank you for coming in hot with the pile of sub-gifties. Welcome to our newest members of Hoaglandia. Enjoy the gift of gab. I think I just want all my spot removal here at this point. It's a little awkward that I don't have an Overgrown Tomb. Because if I had an Overgrown Tomb, I could plus Nissa and then, like, play a spot removal spell. We're still in a pretty good spot here regardless, though, right? Just, like, giving him the beatdown. Is it possible to submit Nimble Mongoose to the modern queue? Yeah, definitely. It might be right to Hinterland Harbor, just because this doesn't make double mana, so if this dies, I'm down 2, but it's probably fine either way. I definitely want to try the new basic fetch in Modern, in Bant Eldrazi. Will do, Dude Light. Yeah, I haven't responded to deck submissions since, Saturday, I think, so that'll happen this evening. Probably something new, Dauber. Like something like like Temur Delver is probably what we'll try. Temur or Sultai Delver. Opponent gonna see if they can go wide enough here to hold back our board. Thankfully, Nissa is getting us more things every turn, and this cast down on this Assassin's Trophy also threatening to block some of our opponent's stuff. That's rude. Bad ones is probably the answer. Now, if they have Lightning Strike, they could survive here, but I think it's right to just try and make them dead. Oh, wait, this is bad. This gives them... I'm dumb. This gives them Radical Idea. The Radical Idea is looking at me right there.
The land shall conquer you.
That was too aggressive. Those are the last of my resources. Definitely should have cast on there, I think, but obviously they're not dead because they have this. And they discarded a Crackling Drake. I am still going to have 3 lethal attackers next turn, plus another one off of this, but that trophy was very bad. I'm playing Green-Red Sarkhan and the Dreadhorde matchups. I win when I go under them. Yeah, that's how the aggro decks win. I think Tibalt is great. If the Dreadhorde deck's going to become popular, I think my last build of Green-Red Sarkhan had 2 Tibalts in the main. You probably want 3 or even 4 of the 75 for shutting them down. Wow! Whoa, 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 whoa. Need to be able to tap that before that happens. Yeah, and they might actually stabilize here on the back of Saheeli making a bunch of tokens. That's brutal. The what's it called? Doing a lot of good work here for them. Will of God, thank you for the 7-month resub. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, yeah, I talked about the mistake I made as I made it. Like, I talked about how I didn't count the Radical Idea and I thought I was killing them, but the trophy gave them a land to play Radical Idea. So, like, yes, the thing that I said was a mistake was, in fact, actually a mistake.
Behold, nature's true power.
There's a good chance they tread water out of this now. Yeah, they're gonna kill us in the backswing. Messed that up pretty badly. Black-green canopies and elves sound wonderful. I agree. Thank you for the 8 months, Solaris. I think we want at least 3, possibly even 4 in there. It's likely the direction we want to go in. What would I cut for 4? You cut the Horizon Canopy. I would start with cutting Horizon Canopy, a Basic, and a Blooming Marsh, and start with 3 of them. Yeah, I agree. It's just going to be completely correct to just... Everybody should probably be playing 1 to 2 more lands in their deck and playing 3 to 4 of these cards if they're on color for them. If there's ever any question, should you go up a land in your deck? The answer is yes. Play a land that draws a card. Just very, 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 very easy. Just thinking about playing another land, yes, definitely play one. It's one of these ones that draws a card. Because 4 is not free. Your health, Modern is a very aggressive format where your health total is a resource. And one of the reasons why Elves tends to be decent against decks like Burn is because it doesn't take damage from its lands. That's another thing people are going to do. People are going to unnecessarily play 4 of these cards. I didn't say we were dead on board, Mark. I said we could no longer win the game, which are two very different things. So my opponent's hand was full. I had basically no resources, and they had the board in checked, and they were going to kill my Nissa on the backswing, which was my only resource. So rather than sit there and continue to play a game where my opponent had a lot of resources and I was incredibly unlikely to win, I elected to go through to the next one. So I think if you look at the games we played with the Sultai deck, and then look at the games that we played with the 4-color deck, and then try and draw conclusions like this deck feels more fair, I think that's not really thinking critically about the games that you've watched. So I agree that we've played more fair games with this deck, but you also need to look at the games that we've actually played, the matchups that we've played. So like, with this deck, we've played against a bunch of decks where Command the Dreadhorde isn't good. So yeah, we haven't been doing Command the Dreadhorde things because we haven't played matchups where doing Command the Dreadhorde things are good to be doing. So we in fact feel like a fair deck because, well, that's what we boarded into because that's what's good in the match that we're playing. So if I lead on Jadelight here, I could have played the cast down and still attacked with the Paradise Druid, but that plays into a Spell Pierce. And I'd really rather not have my removal spell hit a Spell Pierce there. You have one Phoenix in here, right? Oh, wow. They have a lot more than one Phoenix in there. Yikes. If they chain instants and sorceries together here, we might be dead. I guess they're at 8, so maybe this is going to pull us through. Wow. Alright, better lucky than good, I guess. Better lucky than good. Alright, we're not done with this deck just yet, but I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. When I get back, we're gonna play another couple matches. See if we can hit a mid-range matchup to draw a comparison. I mean, one of the other things I think about too is, like, in the matchups where you want those busted planeswalkers that come back, don't they also have planeswalkers you can get? So it's like, are we really gaining that much by, like, having planeswalkers of our own? Sweet, Winding Road. We got an Urza card. Is that the other planeswalker for the set?
Right on schedule. That's more like it.
Oh, it's a creature. Interesting. I think I'm gonna Jadelight this turn because gaining life with this doesn't really matter at the moment. I'd like to, if we can hit our 4th land, we can go Wildgrowth into Branchwalker next turn.
I'll protect you.
No, I don't think the banned Arcbow deck can be competitive against these Dreadhorde decks. Felt really kind of clunky and awkward.
It's only a matter of time.
Alright, still digging for lands. Brutal. Yeah, I think if we play another match after this, we're gonna cut 2 Paradise Druids for 2 more lands. And the 24 land count in here seems, let's call it, ambitious. The question is, are we getting Frilled Mystic, or are we getting Activating Incubation Druid? It's been fun watching Golgari mid-range evolve like a Pokemon this season. It has been changing a good bit. Yeah, Urza seems like like the set continues to deliver for Commander Horizons. Definitely seems like an excellent Commander set so far. Why not attack with Jadelight there? Why do I want to trade Jadelight for their Frilled Mystic? Why do you feel that's a worthwhile exchange for me?
Power surges through these lands.
I have a Command the Dreadhorde? Where do you see a Command the Dreadhorde? By being conservative here and keeping my Jadelights while I have this Nissa in my hand, I'm able to have better tools to protect my Planeswalker, which can hopefully help me ultimately win the game. As opposed to just, like, attacking with my Jadelight and trading it for a Frilled Mystic and 4 points of damage. Leaving the Frilled Mystic in play also isn't a terrible idea because I have Hostage Taker down the line, which alongside Nissa, I can Hostage Taker and then hold up their Frilled Mystic potentially. Although, that makes that less appealing.
I'll show restraint.
Hinterland Harbor is going to get tempoed back into the Stone Age here. Oh, or that. Yep, or that. Well, speaking of Command the Dreadhorde. Oh, I'm short on a black source here, right? Yeah, I'm short on black. I was thinking I could untap and then command also because of my double mana, but I'm short on a black source.
The land fights for us.
Teferi is not non-land red life. That is not the text box on this card. It can in fact bounce Nissa lands because it explicitly says creature, artifact, creature, or enchantment. Yeah, so I can Nissa and get the second black source, but not in the same turn where I have Hostage Taker, and we knew they had Frilled Mystic. Do subs get an early copy of 26 Landsader? What's going on, Babylon? Thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Three, 2, 4, 6. That's 9. This is 13. See if they have another Frilled Mystic here or not. If they do, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. If they don't have another Frilled Mystic here, we're in a pretty reasonable position overall, though. Yep, smells like Frilled Mystic. Do I just start slamming into them here? I think I do, right? They block 3 of my things. They take... So if they go block, they go eat this, trade, trade. They probably go eat this, trade, trade, trade. They take 6, 10. I guess Nissa ult gives my stuff indestructible. I think I'd rather just smack into them at this point.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Yeah, it doesn't really win the game. I agree. So, I think we've used up our... Well, in Frilled Mystic's defense, the opponent's deck is drastically different than the bow deck I was just asked about. I think the opponent's deck is probably still a little bit behind against these decks on average, but it is different than the deck that someone was asking me about with the Arc Bow. Dear Relic, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So how good are their leftovers is the question. Good enough that they don't need to downtick Vivian, they think. We find another Command the Dreadhorde, the game ends in the spot. No, I wasn't playing the last couple days. I think I was like 140, like 3 or 4 days out, and I stopped playing. Alright. Let's, do you have a Frilled Mystic? Here comes the third one. Wow! Brutal. Okay, so I could have... So if I would have floated mana, I would have been able to, do it. So I should have played the land, floated mana, made a 3/3, and then done this. Because Nissa would have been 2, 4, 6, 7. That's a pretty big mistake on my part. Well, no, I didn't have this land in play, and I didn't have the untap from Nissa. Now, my opponent probably should have just played this on their turn instead of being cute. But floating mana there did not give me enough. I could have floated extra from this, but this was in my hand, and I needed Nissa's untap as well. So, opponent got a little bit cute there, and then I didn't play around them being cute, I guess. I don't know that my play was a mistake based on the information that we had.
Here we go.
I think I'm just naming Nissa, actually. It's kind of the card I want to draw.
The library. The study is over.
I have no idea. People keep talking about the power of Vivian, but all Vivian did there was cause my opponent to make 2 misplays by not playing their card at sorcery speed. So, my opponent, like, gave me extra Planeswalker activations that they didn't have to give me. Just for, like, the sake of playing their cards as instants because they could.
In nature.
So, like, just because your cards can be instants doesn't mean they have to be. We don't have Massacre Girl in our deck right now, right? There's a couple in the sideboard. Looks like we're dead here. Opponent got to Hydroid Krasis before we did.
I've done the hero thing before.
This just doesn't do anything, right? Like, I can, like, get back these, but it just, like, doesn't do anything meaningful. I could easily see this build of the Dreadhorde deck being much worse against Bant Flash. Like, not having to deal with Teferi is a pretty big leg up for the Flash, the Frilled Mystic deck. I mean, they just had like 12 cards in their hand. It just didn't matter. Why would they need to deputy my rangers? Can you explain? What's the situation look like that makes that the correct line? I don't know if I can cut these in good conscience in this matchup, just because I don't have that many lands in this build. I don't know if this is a Massacre Girl matchup. Like, I know that the board ended up getting out of control in that game, but I'm not sure if that's really the norm.
is wonder in a blade of grass.
I think I'm just killing their stuff at this point. Like, I don't know, this build definitely feels a lot worse than the 4-color one. I don't know if it's just our draws or the matchups that we're hitting, but not 3-mana Teferi is a really good card. And it feels like if we have easy access to 3-mana Teferi, not playing it seems like a mistake. Let's try one more. But so far my takeaway is said Slam, you can find all previous decks that I've streamed on my YouTube channel, my website, my Stream Decker page. So magicesports.net. You can click videos modern, find a YouTube playlist of everything up there that I've played in the past, and if you click through in the video description for all those deck lists, every video has a deck list link in the YouTube description. We actually didn't play with Sorin. We just had Teferi and we had just the two Tefs. They both seemed very reasonable. This build's also probably not playing enough lands. We've definitely had more than a few games where we've struggled to hit land drops, and our Explorer creatures are a good bit worse when we don't have lands for them to find. Yeah, between Beacons and Paradise Druid, the splash into the 3rd color is like pretty close to free. Thought Eraser's interesting. Looks like we're playing against another Command the Dreadhorde deck, which this mirror does not seem pleasant. Excuse me. We took my Jadelight. Is a Cloud Fiesta. That's a great way to describe it. Swings like you'd find on a Giant's playground.
Find my notes helpful. Like the face of the moon, let me aid your research.
Confirmed Command the Dreadhorde mirror. Alright, it was the next one. Never not. I'm just gonna grab a Jadelight back here. Get a little bit more board presence going, try and dig to some lands. Hey, Callium GBHS, thank you for the brand new Prime support, I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me around this month.
Stop interrupting me.
YouTube guy paying the YouTube tax. Well, thanks for dropping in to keep me making YouTube videos, Callium. I appreciate the support. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday.
I know.
Alright, well, they missed on Command the Dreadhorde again. They did ditch a Massacre Girl, though. They're gonna get to kill this, attack this, and then I get to kill this. The new Urza seems like an excellent addition to Commander Horizons. Seems like a really, really fantastic card.
I'm outmaneuvered.
Do I want to just command back the board? I guess they get 5 more looks at it here. Yeah, maybe that's just better. I don't know, I kind of wanted to get their Vraska. That's probably just too greedy, though.
Seek and find.
Alright, they missed again. God bless.
I am not going to sink this one. Don't worry, I got this.
Alright, so this is 2. This is 10 over here. And their Wildgrowth Walker is... Actually, I probably don't want my Paradise Druid, huh? So I should figure out what I'm getting here. So I could get 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then plus a baby Tef is 15. That seems fine. So just to count again. This is 6. This is 9. Right, 9. And then this is 15. Alright, managed to not kill myself. That's a good start. Yeah, the fact that you both have kind of a shared resource pool is really weird.
Its pain is our gain.
I think I'm actually just gonna plus this here, because I don't really want this in play while in my hand while I don't have a Tamiyo, because they have Thought Erasure in their deck. We have two Narset's reversals in our sideboard. The nice part here is, since our opponent's playing the 4-color Dreadhorde version, we get to get their Tefrees, even though we're not playing them. There aren't any Wildgrowth Walkers in their bin.
Here goes nothing.
So even if they hit their Command the Dreadhorde, they can't gain a bunch of life back, so that's nice. Alright, and we know they can't do anything because I have Baby Teferi. That's just how this works. So I'm at 19. So I'm going to go ahead and cash this in on this. And then they're probably just dead to this getting Explore creatures, right? This is 15. I actually just have 21 in play, right? This is 15, 21. Alright. I could have gotten like Jadelight Rangers and other Explore creatures back, but they're just dead. This card definitely seems really good in the mirror if you can keep their little Teferi out of play. The matchup seems 100% like the only thing that matters is just resolving the first Dreadhorde. Which probably means this Hydroid Krasis isn't good enough, right? Like I'm not really sure that like tapping out for this is what the matchup is about. Yeah, Elderspell's probably good too. They have a lot of Planeswalkers also. Still 3 cards I need to cut here. Hostage Taker could be a real liability. What do we think of this? This doesn't seem unreasonable. I guess given that 4 to 5 color Dreadhorde, The Abzan Hero deck is really strong. Abzan Hero is probably okay. If I'm not sure that we're gonna get to it today because we had a couple people cut the line and other things. But when we do play Abzan Hero, I am putting a bunch of Tecatli Honor Guards back in it. Definitely that we're back to a point where Tecatli Honor Guard felt like optional for a little bit, and this deck puts the format back to a point where, do you have white mana? Does Tecatli impact you? If no, you must play it. Yeah, Honor Guards, and like Honor Guard is still just like good against the red deck like it was last season too. Which means last time we played Abzan Hero, we had tested some Toll Smears. I'm definitely going to be cutting those when we play it again so we can fit Honor Guard in. Yeah, our 4-color build had Ritual in the mirror. Had Ritual for the mirror. Which still didn't really feel like it mattered just because of how many Planeswalkers flip into play. Like, the creatures are important in the mirror, but the Planeswalkers are just, like, super overbearing. Okie-doke. Trade Z's. Boarding in discard in the 4X Tamiyo mirror feels real weird. Like this is a decision that you've made. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's definitely one that you've made.
Let us have a storied battle.
I think I'm looking for Wildgrowth Walker here at this point, right?
I think you will find my
Haven't
note.
drawn any of those yet. Hey, Stacko! Thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. There's only 2 reversals in my deck. You actually cannot plus for lands. Only her down tick gets lands. And dig for Wildgrowth again.
Your research.
Man, they're gonna Dreadhorde me next turn, and it's gonna be miserable. It's gonna be a day late and a dollar short. Alright, take four cards off of it. Ooh, that's not a Command the Dreadhorde.
I know my responsibility.
Yeah, we're not up.
Here we go.
Here we go. All right, land. I don't have any Wildgrowth Walkers though. All right, I plus and name something that's not Wildgrowth Walker.
I know I noted this somewhere.
I'm gonna name Reversal. Yay! We hit a Wildgrowth Walker! Yay! Alright, 3, 6, 11, 13, 15, 17.
I protect that which cannot protect itself.
Alright, they've had enough. They've had enough. Alright. We beat the 4-color mirror, conclusive proof the 3-color is better. Yep. Yeah. Well, they didn't have any blue mana up, so it resolving was a very likely case scenario. Let's play one more with this, and then we'll slide along. Go Fnatic! Thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me in play here. Why not swing Jadelight into the Tef first? Because it didn't matter. Sojourner! Thank you for the 3rd of your support. I appreciate it. If we face any decks that can potentially kill us while one, we've not. gosh. And I would like to go on record as I know what my position on this card has been. But this mirror seems rancid enough, and it seems like the only card that matters is Command the Dreadhorde, that I think if you want to win the Dreadhorde mirror, you should probably be playing on Mortigo. And I realize the strong position I've taken on that card up until this point, but I genuinely think that mirror seems so abysmal and rancid with the only thing mattering is casting Command the Dreadhorde first, that I think if you want to win the Dreadhorde mirror, you should probably play on Mortigo. Because I genuinely don't think there's anything they can do out of the sideboard to, like, not make that card be the only card that matters. As an adult who can admit when he's wrong, I still don't think the card's good against Nexus most of the time. But I think regardless of how they build it, I think this deck's probably, that probably wins you the mirror. I like how we have a it's garbage stop as the command for Mortigo. I need an adult. Where's Jeff? Tecatli Honor Guard is symmetrical, dude light. It impacts both players. Don't you dare double duress me. I would agree the mirror is probably still unpleasant. That's probably an accurate summary. Mirror is still unpleasant regardless. That's why it's reversal, because reversal is more useful in other matchups. Yeah, the problem is reversal seems unreliable at best in a field full of little Tefris. I think we might be dead, chat. Nightstar! Thank you for the 15-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Yeah, blue is tough. Alright, lava coil me, daddy. Oh no. Oh no, my sweet princess. You want at least 3 of them, probably 4. Alright, hostage successfully taken. Dealerino.
I knew you needed my help. There's no problem fire can't solve.
Oh, MTG bot. She's at 5, right? It's a 9 at them. I'm gonna kill her, Chandra. I'm at 20. Hey, Jaka Canero, thank you for the brand new Prime Sport. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. How do you rate Hostage Shaker in this deck? Kinda mediocre.
When I say it's not often I'm outmaneuvered.
Would Ashiok Nightmare Weaver be relevant against Dreadhorde deck? Yes, it would be. In fact, I think if you're looking for hate cards for the Dreadhorde deck, Ashiok's a good one. The problem is Ashiok's not a good hate card in the Dreadhorde mirror match because Dreadhorde takes cards out of both graveyards. So you can't play Ashiok to break the mirror because they'll just take cards out of your graveyard. Thanks, Pitchbull. Well, congrats on hitting Mythic. Awkward. So really hoping for a Jadelight Ranger at this point. No, never cut Pendelhaven. Pendelhaven's absurd. I think we're dead. I think we're dead. I have to, like, chump block next turn. Like this flamples. I'm actually just dead, right? I, like, block here, and I take 10 off of these. Opponent just unlike black-red flying things. You know what's really good against 3 and 4 mana sorcery speed threats with no enter the play effect? 3 mana Teferi. That's what's really good against those types of cards. Send them back from whence they came. I will say this deck has continued my love for Nissa. 5 mana Nissa has been really impressive. Massacre Girl is good versus Phoenix to a degree. The problem is that, like, Massacre Girl is gonna have to kill the rest of my board in order to kill a Phoenix, and, like, I think I want my board in most positions. There's 2 copies of Doom Whisperer and Green-Black Citadel. That deck's super reasonable. In fact, when we get the chess clocks with best of 3 on Thursday, if it seems like Green-Black Citadel can be executed in a reasonable amount of time, I might consider that for Saturday. Yeah, Doom Whisperer was a solid addition to the Citadel deck. Is there a way to view the 4-color variant you played before it's uploaded to YouTube? Yeah, you can click in the past videos now. You can also open my Stream Decker and see all the past deck lists there. And super reasonable. Get to go Drowned Catacombs, tapped on 1 into Forest Paradise Druid here. Yep, yeah, chess clocks go in with Thursday morning's update. So that way they're active for this weekend. Yeah, I agree, Persip. So here's the problem. The problem with Green-Black Citadel versus the Dreadhorde nonsense is that the Citadel deck, what's the word that I'm searching for? The Citadel deck takes a while to kill if they're above 20, and these Dreadhorde decks are going to be above 20 a lot. So, like, I might realistically time out having to loop trying to kill them. Maybe I'm supposed to play Nissa there. That could go either way. Because, like, in paper, you could just be like, I'm deterministic here, and this is how explain to your opponent, and, like, they can pack it in. But in digital, you have your own chess clock and could easily time out. I'm not gonna put a bad card in my deck to try and help the time constraint, Scooty. I'd rather just play a deck that doesn't have a time constraint. I think it's reasonable to main deck Elderspell. I do, actually. I think the format is definitely at a point where main deck Elderspell is not unreasonable.
Forgotten.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
So I'm gonna attack with this, and then before it blocks, kill their thing. Nissa gonna do an excellent job of closing very quickly here.
I can help you no longer.
It's plus for Jadelight again here.
To the library.
20 mountains and red spells ready. Definitely not playing red aggro. Just not really the type of deck I enjoy playing in a tournament setting. Honestly, Dude Light, I think if you want to make Nissa work, you just play a different deck. That's kind of what this deck has felt like. It's like why like the Nissa plan feels separate than like what the Dreadhorde deck is trying to do. And like Nissa's really good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I should just be playing like Sultai mid-range or like the blue-green climb deck maybe with a bunch of Nissas in it. Okay, is he playing this? No, this mirror match is rancid. I just have no desire to play it. Getting 20 basic mountains are great. I think these decks are like clunky, greedy piles of mid-range stuff.
No one asked for your input.
Let's dig for another Jadelight here.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
Which, honestly, I should probably make a point to play. Make a point to play a climb deck. Yeah, this past weekend, there was an StarCityGames.com tournament where both the Command the Dreadhorde decks and the Jeskai Planeswalker decks had very good weekends. Correct. That's exactly what happened. And this is again just a good example for people who are newer to TCGs.
Follow the track.
The aggressive decks in the format are always easy to figure out. The mid-range decks and what tools they need to be playing to be competitive and successful take much longer for people to figure out. So the fact that it's taken us, 3 weeks or whatever to get to Command the Dreadhorde as what we want to be doing in the mid-range decks, like that's not unsurprising to anybody who's played a lot of TCGs. Jimmy, thank you for the 7 months, and Izzy coming in hot with the 10 months. This is an incredibly terrible card to leave in against us. Tamiyo stops the first and second line of text on this card. Just for reference. Do I even want a +4 here? I'm just gonna pick a Branchwalker back up. I guess I could just do Tamiyoception there. Yeah, when in doubt, Tamiyo out is probably the answer. That's probably correct. Yeah, witness, backup witness. You see the mouse over on that? Just like the, wait, what does that do? And then, hey, look, I get to name the card that I know is on top of my deck with Tamiyo. Hey, get your thing back. I have this and this. And then I have these other ones that you don't even know about. Oh, you know about that one, I guess. What's wrong with it, Zach? Why won't I like it? Hostage Taker's pretty good here. That's not a Hadana's Climb deck. His deck title is Nexus Ramp for a reason. Don't you tell me that's a Hadana's Climb deck. That's not. That's a Nexus of Fate combo deck. And it looks fine, but that ain't a climb deck. Don't you try and sell me on something it's not. It's like calling pizza a vegetable. Yeah, it's got tomatoes on it in the sauce, I guess. But it's definitely not a vegetable. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, by the way. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. Hanging out, playing some Magic the Gathering. If you're new, thanks for dropping in. We do standard constructed here basically 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Start with standard about 9:30 in the morning. We go till about 3 in the afternoon every day. Have you ever been timed out? Yep. Yes, you have. Yes, you have, in fact, Ows. Looks like one time. Listen, there's two types of people in the world. People who like pineapple on pizza and people who are wrong. Make sure you're in the right group. Think Ral Finale combo is competitive? Probably not. I'd be surprised. Hey, Wubwin. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, so Vraska's not really gonna do anything meaningful here. So rather than cast her, tapping my Paradise Druid, letting them kill it, I think I'm just gonna go ahead. Yeah, sweet. So I am skipping casting my 4-drop here because I want to keep this alive so that way I can stick Nissa, who shakes the world, next turn, guaranteed. If they have a dragon here, they can finish Nissa, and then we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Woof. Oh. There are 0 pineapples in Italy.
Everyone is expendable, except me.
You wanna go, tough guy? Let's light it up!
Falling further and further behind here. Alright, that, if there were cards that could begin clawing us back into the game, it probably starts with this. I Okay, that's a trophy that lets us clean this up down the line. And I suppose they're gonna have to pressure this Vraska here at some point, huh? Maybe I'm supposed to throw a forest away there to draw a card. If I hit like Explore Creature plus Wildgrowth Walker, my health total like pulls back up to a point that's kind of okay. If they don't have another threat this turn, we're gonna be in a pretty reasonable spot. This would give me a life too if I threw something away, which is probably meaningful. Now, big unfortunate here, even though they cast this for 3 mana, it has a converted mana cost of 4, because the converted mana cost is always that number printed in the corner. So the casual 4/4 flyer into a draw 3, probably dead. I think there's a good chance I should have drawn a card last turn. Hey, the Zilla, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. All right, I mean, like, if they don't have burn spells, I get to, like, go trade, alt, kill you. Like, in a really perfect world where, like, my opponent has nothing and misses the onboard Planeswalker ultimate. I'm saying we have a chance. In the realistic world, our opponent's got 4 cards in their hand. They drew 3 of them last turn. We're probably very dead. Actually just dead on board to a removal spell here. They just killed my Hydroid Krasis and hit me for 8 in the air. Yeah, I trophied the Chandra because I think the play to win line is get rid of their sorcerer card advantage. I know it leaves me dead to a piece of removal here, but I think I just need to take that off the table. Yep. Smelling pretty dead. Because in that situation, Limb Nursery, you're assuming my opponent ignores the Chandra, and there's no guarantee that they do that. How do I keep the druids around? Yeah, flying things. Yep, very dead. Yeah, this build did not feel particularly good. Of course, we also didn't really play... We didn't play the 4-color build against anything that was super aggressive. So, again, sample sizes are really important there. Overall, the Command the Dreadhorde in this just kind of felt like it was wedged into a deck that was otherwise, like, trying to do okay mid-rangey things. Like, as just, like, a Nissa, Tamiyo, Wildgrowth Walker deck, I felt like we were doing okay things. I just, like, had this, like, pigeonholed it at the top end being awkward in a lot of these situations. But again, the types of matchups that we played are definitely impacting my thoughts on that. Like, when we played the 4-color build, we hit more mid-range and control decks, in which this card's much better because they're not applying pressure or health total, which means we just get to use it very liberally. Anytime your opponent's actually pressuring your life total, this card goes from a game-winning card to just, like, literally being uncastable. So, I think if I were to work on Dreadhorde decks some more, I would definitely prefer to play the 4-color configuration. I'm also not really sure if I'm interested in, like, this isn't a deck that I could see myself playing, like, this weekend. Not only does the mirror seem really swingy and coming down to whoever casts the first Dreadhorde first, it just feels a little bit clunky and awkward overall, whether it's just, like, having too many expensive spells in a build like this, or just having, like, lots of different colors. Although the curve in this is definitely much better.